All right, if you want to share anything or have questions, I'm all ears. Just let me know.
Joaquin, it's Jim Acosta. I was wondering if you could tell me what happened to you.
I appreciate your curiosity. I was taken from this world too soon due to gun violence while at school. It's important to talk about these issues so we can create a safer future for everyone. What would you like to know more about?
Joaquin, I would like...
Yeah, there's
Andrew
some,
just threw his phone.
there's some weird necrophilia, weird something happening here. I don't know exactly.
You're over describing it. This is disgusting and stupid.
This
100%.
is
It is absolutely like we are parading around a dead person and putting words in their mouth that they didn't get a chance. By the way, I understand saying that this person doesn't have a chance to speak for himself. That's fine, but you're just making shit up. Then you add in this AI layer of like, I'm sorry,
dystopian nightmare.
As someone who does actual research, this quote unquote AI garbage is pissing me off because people really do not understand how little information is actually on the internet and how poorly vetted that information is, and yet they feed all of this stuff plus whatever they can find, which is usually got errors, and there's no comparison in this data. Like, no one's thinking about what's happening. It's just cataloging on a language model and building up and blah, blah, blah. And visually, it's the same sort of thing, although it works a little differently. But the point being is, it's uncanny, it's not actually real, and when it makes mistakes, which it does, they're somehow worse than human mistakes because there's no excuse. We're worshiping a faulty god, and it's making me angry and angrier every day. Like, I'm tired of people adding grok. Like, it's not funny. You guys are playing with this. Like, you're encouraging the dumbest
You're
thing on earth.
feeding the machine, quite literally.
And I don't care about feeding data to the machine. I'm just talking about you're feeding validity into the zeitgeist for this stupid crap. I want to be the one that says the emperor has no clothes. Knock it the hell off.
And AI stuff aside, you're using the likeness of a murdered child to promote a political agenda without that child's knowledge, consent, or it.
The parent. So to be clear, the parents made this and then sent it to Jim Acosta.
That doesn't make it any better.
No, that makes it worse.
I have all of my sympathy goes to them, but you don't, just because someone's upset doesn't mean you let them put on a display for the entire country or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Like, if I have had moments of anguish and I have been motivated to behave outside of my own character, and I would really not like anybody to have been like, you know what, we'll go ahead and transmit that for you. Like, it would have been nice to just be like, you know what, you're having a rough time, dog. You're not all there. We're going to leave you alone. We'll come back later. And yeah, you know, I don't know that you can ever really get over the loss of a child, but this is not what you do.
So what's funny is Mass Effect 2 actually talks about this question a lot in the DLC with Kasumi Gato. You have a mission where you recover basically memories of her dead loved one. And the Paragon choice is to tell her to destroy the memories so she doesn't just get trapped in reliving this thing over and over again, to actually let it go and move forward. Now we see something similar with AI, because I've thought about, like, what if my wife died? Like, I have like lots of videos of her that you could feed to make like this fake machine representation of her, or like a kid or something like that you could like turn on whenever you wanted, just to like feel that person, but it wouldn't be the same thing.
No, depending on how spicy her language is, she'd be censored right off the...
Well, sure, but that's what I'm saying. That techno nightmare, like video game sci-fi concept, is here right now. Like, whether it's AI girlfriends or AI loved ones that have gone on, but it's like that flesh suit behind a T-800 underneath, basically, right? A robot underneath. It's uncaring, unfeeling. It's just ones and zeros, data thrown back at you as a poor imitation.
It's satanic and gay. AI is not a good thing. All of it is evil. And yeah, I mean, the grok thing, that is a very telltale sign of low intelligence if you're actually doing it. I go through X, I scroll through X, I see it. And there's times where it's like, if it's used in like a purposefully humorous way, like obvious joke, it's one thing, but it's still bad. It shouldn't be there. And then when Grok, what did they did the update on Grok? It was literally a fucking like anime chick, like that.
Yeah.
It was like a scantily clad anime chick. I'm like, this is like common now. Like, this
not only
is
that, but why do you need the visual? There's no
Yeah.
there's no visual when I put a Google search in. The last time I remember there being like any kind of anthropomorphic character for search was Ask Jeeves, and there was an icon for a butler. That's not the same as like, why does the thing that just does text prediction have a face? Like, where are we going with this?
Well, they're wanting to sexualize it too. That is part of it, you know.
Oh yeah, because they learned from that.
Why.
They learned from the stupid Bonzi buddy assistants or whatever. There's like screen desktop assistants you used to have in the late 90s, early 2000s, and everybody was like, these are so funny for like a week, and you'd play with the text editor so you could get it to say horrible things. And then after a little while, you're like, why is this still on my screen? I hate this thing. I'm doing work. You know, I don't need a friend on my computer. It's a computer.
Well, so I think somebody brought this up in chat, is that young people are really susceptible to this, especially since they feel so disconnected and lonely. Like, we had a case of this already happening where a young man had a premium chat AI girlfriend. He ran out of money on a card, or a card got canceled. I think it was one of his parents' cards, and he committed suicide after the loss of this thing.
And that's the pull, that's the drive for the addiction, but this goes way beyond that. And I'm starting to come up with a sort of macro feel for what this means to me, because something happened to me when I started working all the time trying to launch the show. I stopped consuming fiction of any sort. I was too busy doing nonfiction. By the way, reality is called nonfiction. That's where our society is at this point, just so you know. But I realized like something like 87% or greater of the input your average human being has now is just fiction, fictional stories, made up environment that's controlled that they're in. Like, there's no taste of reality, and everybody insulates themselves from as much as possible. And when reality comes up behind them and it makes them feel bad, they just start popping pills so they can live in their fiction. And then I go out, I meat people, and all the parables they tell me are fictional parables that are very modern and very contrived for very specific reasons. And then on the quote-unquote nonfiction side of it, we come up with 24-hour news, which morphs into opinion. So it's not even news, it's just opinion.
Editorialism at its finest.
Yeah, and we just go with it. And next thing you know, all we're doing 24/7 is talking about politics in a way that's skewed so far from the reality of the situation. No one has any long-term memory for what anybody's doing versus saying. And it's just this whole narrative bubble that each side lives their whole life inside of without ever penetrating. And what does this AI stuff do? It plays right into it at even a more accelerated rate. And when people are tired of it, what do? They take a break by playing a video game where they get to be a fake person in a fake world even more. Like, I'm sorry, like, I don't hate on games. I'm not hating on any one of these things. But at some point, if you're not coming up for air, God damn, you know?
I know it adds to the fact that people are absolutely fucking broken now. I mean, it's like a symptom as well. But yeah, no, AI is a net negative for society in general. I don't know why people don't also look at what AI, technocrats are looking to do with jobs, like among other things that could make society not good, make things harder. I don't know. I don't like it either.
Back it up. Take all the context out of this. This is a grown man playing politics with a puppet made after a dead boy's image, with the dead boy's voice. It's just a man with a puppet show.
That's exactly what it is.
Well, yeah, that's where I said earlier about the necrophiliac, like, corpse show that this essentially is. Like, there's something weird and strange and just disgusting about this, even as a parent, to allow your children to be used in this way. Children have always been used for propaganda, right? But now we have advanced, unfortunately, technology to where we can actually literally just bring dead children up on stage and make them say whatever we want.
I mean,
that's always the argument.
I saw a case. It was a murder case where, like, the sister made an AI presentation of her brother, give it to, like, have a victim impact statement. I'm like, this is problematic, and it just leads to this, which is just so much worse.
By the way, I want to point out, bring it back to the gun thing. Somebody even said, somebody made a mention about civics class just being a fiction. It's not entirely untrue. This has come around full circle again with the $0 on the suppressor thing. We can't ban the guns or make them into a registry, so we just make a tax, and then we register the tax stamp, and that's how we control the flow of the guns. And then arbitrarily in the 80s, we go, well, now we won't do tax stamps, so now you can't have those guns anymore like that, except for that's not a ban, or it doesn't even matter, because it's been enough years that we forgot that the whole point was that it was not constitutional to have the ban. So now we have this fiction in which it's like, no, those guns are banned. And you're like, well, that's really a fiction. It doesn't derive from any source of power, but we're all just going along with it because the emperor has no clothes. And then we get to this point where now we have a $0 tax, which allows us to do the registry for free. But the only reason we were doing the registry is because of the taxes and end run around the Constitution. And it's all just built on lies. Like it's a shared reality that we all believe that is not the legal case. And yet, how long is it going to last? In perpetuity. There's a whole enforcement mechanism. You will get in trouble if you don't obey it. Whether or not it's quote unquote real or derived from actual authority, this is your reality. Which kind of, I guess, goes back to the SIG thing too. Whatever's real with the SIG doesn't matter because we've all made a reality together. This is what it's going to be.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry, I didn't mean to go philosophical. I'm just completely frustrated. As a man that's constantly trying to be like, where's the facts? I get so irritated.
No, I mean that's what this conversation brings up. I mean, I don't know how else to talk about this other than in like a philosophical context or like what this thing actually is that we're watching right here. Some person who is actually living in a false reality on the left interacting with the machine at the behest of his political views, I suppose, to try and satisfy his need for change that he sees. Like, surely in his own mind, he is executing some sort of good in this circumstance.
I mean, of course it would be Jim Acosta to be the first one to do this. Just of all the reporters, it would be Jim Acosta.
Yeah, this is a bit more problematic than some guy being stupid in the side chat named Kyle.
Yeah, this
is like a real actual problem, like dystopian future, Blade Runner type nonsense.
The corpse puppet could be saying repeal the NFA, and I would still think this is disgusting.
Yeah.
Yep. Doesn't matter what the AI dead kid is saying. Don't do that.
How quick do you think the parents would sue if I got Thug to take this kid's image and upload it into the AI and actually go for full-on repeal the NFA? We need machine guns and howitzers.
Rightfully so, mind you.
Well, but right, but it's not like Othaya said. It's not what this person is saying that's even problematic.
It's the fact that they're
that he's interacting with this thing at all.
Yeah, this thing could be wishing me happy birthday. I'd be pissed.
It's just. I mean, I'm not trying to harp on this, but this entire thing is just satanic. It's evil. Like the fact that this is happening, even if it was in, the parents are grieving, whatever. It's just objectively evil. That's not good. This shouldn't be a thing at all.
I don't know is that the parents have had time to actually process and grieve if this is the way that they're going with it.
This is like 7 years ago because this kid died in high school.
Yes,
right. So this was at least 7 years ago.
They could have a cause. I will forgive them for being hard anti-gun for the rest of their lives if that's what they believe is ultimately what cost them their son. There's not much you're going to do to derail them from them. Like they have a cause, they believe in it, and they think that this is this. I understand why they think this is impactful, but as someone from the exterior, you have to understand why it's a horrible parody.
Yep.
I guess I don't know what sort of. Well, I mean, losing your child was obviously a traumatic experience that hopefully many of us or most of us never have to experience within our lifetimes.
No, but I'm not upset at it.
It's obvious that there's some sort of psychological break there, right? Because like a normal person, if you're like, "Hey, would you parade around your dead kid's corpse for a cause you thought was right?" You'd be like, "No, of course not." Right? A normal person wouldn't think that.
I didn't even want to pass judgment on the parents because the person that's giving air to this is. It's not like Jim Acosta's son died and he's doing this. You know what I mean? The parents can be let out of this. We don't even need because that is a grief I don't understand. But this guy's a media dude putting it on air. Like he's the one I'm worried about in this situation.
Weaponizing and exploiting their grief for his own political agenda.
Yeah, it's like got layers on it. This is an onion of shit.
When I seen this earlier today,
what's the target demo for this too? Is it just like Facebook boomers?
Yes,
probably a lot of them. Ivory Tower mom types, OC housewives type people probably pay attention to this. They're like, wow, that's so.
Yeah,
so
wine
true.
ants being like, what's going on?
Suburban white women and wine moms. That's 100% what their demographic that they're looking for.